In this video, we're going to talk more about CSS, and we're going to talk about pseudo classes and pseudo elements. Okay, so let's go to that. I'm going to open that in a new tab. So if you right-click, click Open a New Link, click there. Okay, so pseudo classes. So what are pseudo classes? A pseudo class is a keyword presented by a colon added to the end of a selector to specify what you want to style the selected element, and only when they are in a certain state. So for example, if you wanted to do a hover, you would do colon hover. You can do visited, valid, target, scope, root, write, required, read write, read only, out of range, optional, etc., etc. So there's a lot of pseudo classes, okay? They have about 30 of them. But the ones that we're going to talk about and use is we're going to use hover, what was the other one? Active. These are the two that I'm going to use. So this is the fun thing about coding as well, is there's so much information out there and there's so many things being added all the time, is you can go in and you can start fiddling with it and add these pseudo selectors to your file and really have fun with it. And you also have this resource where you can click on it and it will show you what it is. So for example, active, you would do anchor, colon, active, and then the color. And it will, this link will turn lime when you click on it. So if you did a link, color blue, that would be when it's unvisited. So like this, that would be the result. When you hover over it, the background color is yellow. Active, it would be lime. So let's click on it. There you go. So it turns lime. And then when it was visited, it turns purple. So those are different states and different pseudo selectors that you can use. We're going to be using hover and active a lot in this project that we're going to be doing in the next couple of videos. So I just wanted to show you the basics here, and the active and the hover are very important pseudo selectors because you're going to use those a lot in the navigation. For example, this right here, this element that they have with the underlined, that is probably, let's inspect it real quick and just see what they did. So if you click on HOV, click active, let's do hover. Okay, so hover, visited, what's visited? Nope, okay, I guess not. They just show that when you, I guess when you just hover down, it's an effect. Yep, it's an effect. Oh, I see what they're doing. So what they're doing is when you go to example, it highlights it, and then specifications, it highlights, and browser compatibility. So both of these are showing, so it pops up here. So when you hover over it, it turns white. So that's a pseudo selector that they're using. And then when you go off of that, it just goes back to the normal color. So that's a great example too, is to see how that works. Now let me go back to how CSS works real quick. And we're going to do selectors. Let's click on selectors. Okay, so the basics. So selectors, there's simple selectors, which is a class and an ID. Attribute selectors match one or more elements based on their attribute values. Pseudo classes match one or more elements that exist in certain state. Pseudo elements match one or more parts of content that are in a certain position. Combinators, these are not exactly selectors themselves, but ways of combining two or more selectors. We're going to be doing this a lot in the next video, so I'll show you that. Multiple selectors. Again, there is no separate selectors. The idea is that you can put multiple selectors on the same CSS rule, separated by commas, to apply a single set of declarations to all the elements selected by those selectors. And the reason that they do that is the common word in coding is do not repeat yourself. So if you have a property that you wanted to give to 5 elements, instead of typing out H1 and then the property and then H2 and then the property, you would do H1, comma, H2, H3, H4, H5, all with commas, and then you would write out the property. That way, it condenses your code, and if you're just giving it that one property, it's not going to hurt anybody. So in the next video, what we're going to do is we're going to get started on building our project. We're going to build a 5-page website with HTML, and then we're going to style it with CSS. And so what we're going to do is we're going to build out every page, and then we're going to style every page. So we'll build the home page, then we'll style it. Then we'll build the services page, then we'll style it. We'll build the portfolio page, and then we'll style it, et cetera, et cetera. So in the next video, I will see you there, and let's get started on our project. All right, welcome back. In this video, we're going to talk